All I'm really trying to say, Ryan, is I do actually make a concerted effort, despite the fact that I'm here tonight, to do less dumb things in my life.
That's a good enough cold intro. Cold open, is that what it's called? I never hear this.
Hey,
Do we want to do an air conditioned episode, Steve?
Have we ever tried that?
We've done it in the past where we just couldn't handle it.
How bad's the gate?
I don't know. I guess we could find out. Our good friend Mary is over there right now, cooling down the room.
Is that the name of the air conditioner?
That's what I've been calling her.
Is it because the wind cries Mary?
Oh, the one named after that PRS pedal?
Is it because when it's because it's Southern California Power, when Mary's on, you're going to have to spend her a lot of money at the end of the month?
What? No. Wow. Did you? Have you?
Yeah, I just made
on that one.
I just made a Mary. I didn't. No, I did that right now.
Wow, you like bent your body all the way backwards to make a Mary Spender joke.
It was right in the front of my brain. Air conditioning's expensive. Dude, my power bill, bill goes from like $90 in the winter to like $450 in the summer.
Yeah, you're out there. Yeah. Get solar, man.
And my power's cheaper than yours.
Yeah, I'm using less of it.
Speaking of you and yours, what's your name?
I'm going to have to rewind the tape to even see if I can like find a thread of sanity in Steve's Mary Spender joke.
I said, did you name the AC Mary because when you turn it on, you have to spend her a lot of money?
I know what you said. It's a stretch every single time. I named the AC Mary because the old air conditioner I had in here was Gary, and I wanted to have the pun still, you know. It's like, you know, how they alternate hurricanes from female to male names and stuff like that.
Wait, is that new?
The AC?
How long has that been in here?
2 years. I hadn't. Well, maybe a year. I might have had it installed last summer.
What? Why did I still think we were using Gary?
I have no idea. Actually, I think it might be 2 years now.
All right. Wow. Shows how much I'm paying attention.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steven. This is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing,
disaster of a podcast.
This first ad was sent by somebody named Michael. But I'm not sure which one because we have Michael Barber.
Yes. I was excited to see a name that wasn't Michael Krause. I love you, Michael Krause.
We'll get to Michael Krause later.
Yeah, is he going to be this episode?
Maybe he's next episode.
I think he's next episode.
This is a Gibson.
He sends a lot of ads.
This is a Gibson Corvus. Love you, Michael. Rare Gibson Corvus 1 with Caller tremolo and original hard shell case. Insanely fun guitar to play. Action is very low and the Caller is super responsive. Holds tune great and sounds unbelievable. Really kicks with a nice drive. Guitar is in amazing shape with a few small dings on the body and some very light finish checking. All stock besides the Caller tremolo. Comes with original case in fantastic condition. And $2,000 in Modesto, California. This is a
Modesto
Carina body. A bunch of.
I think this is the first time.
This is trades, but you know this is just a bunch of like word salad to get.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the first time I've looked at a Corvus and gone, huh.
Really? I've always thought they were neat.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm starting to see, like, imagine it on stage with Devo. Suddenly it makes sense. Like it's a chaotic nonsense shape. Do you know why it's that shape, Steve?
Is it supposed to be like? Is it this shape?
Once I say it, you're going to be like, oh.
Is this shape because they're leftover Gibson L6 bodies?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. Why are they this shape?
So once I say it, you're going to go, because you're going to think of other guitars that have this feature. This was a Gibson 80s guitar. You know, things were going on in the 80s with guitar design. And this was originally intended to be headless.
Okay.
Are you there yet?
Yeah, it's the BC Rich.
Right. It's the back. It was a cutout for the back tuners, the behind the bridge tuners. But then they made a prototype of it. And everyone was like, nah. And so they just put a headstock on it and left that giant shark fin cut out of the body, where the rest of the body really has no design either. Like, it just seems like it's random curves.
It kind of makes you feel like somebody had Pac-Man fever, but halfway through the design, like their fever was cured. They got that. They got that.
They just died.
They got that penicillin shot.
No, they got Pac-Man fever and died from it. Yeah.
What year were these?
Mid 80s. It was like 84, 85, 86 or something like that. Yeah. I think this one's extra tempting because it has that color.
Are they normally hardtail?
They're normally a like a fancy wraparound, you know, like the bigger wraparound where you get a little extra space and you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
And I think there were some stop tail versions, if I'm correct or incorrect. I think if it had a top horn, just a little bit more of a little nib sticking out, or if it had like those Theodore horns.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so Gibson makes the Les Paul, which is like one of the most traditional looking electric guitars out there. It's as close to like a throwback acoustic guitar design that you could imagine.
Right.
And then all of their semi-hollows and jazz boxes are like that too. They're like, oh yeah, here we go. This is like a jazz design. This is like a traditional design. Every other design that Gibson does is just bonkers. We don't talk about how bonkers Gibson is enough. Like Fender designs are all ergonomic. So their shapes might seem abstract at first, but they're like, oh yeah, that's made to go against your belly and your leg and your hip. There's a fender made to fit flush against your butt for some reason. It's all ergonomics with Fender. But with Gibson, it's just like, give a toddler a crown.
A crown?
A crayon. You caught me, Steve. I don't know how to talk good. Crayon. Crayon. Crayola crayon.
I don't remember where the because that's a regionalism. But I don't remember what regions are rich.
Which regions are rich?
Yeah, rich
regions are rich.
Yeah.
But 2K, I don't know. It looks attractive to me.
I looked it up real quick. 2K looks like it's in the middle of the road. There is a Corvus with a small crack in the body. It doesn't look like it goes all the way through. It just looks like it might be around this upper like horn area. That's like for $1,300. But otherwise, this actually at $2,000, which is also on Reverb, is one of the lower priced Gibson Corvus out there.
And it's got a Kaler included. I keep waiting for an excuse to own a Kaler. I'm not saying I'm going to buy this.
It sounds like this is your excuse, Ryan.
I'm not going to do it. I have a sudden appreciation for the Corvus, but nah. I'm not going to throw around $2,000 on a guitar where I just suddenly went, I don't hate it as much as I used to. Like there's a ton of $900 and $1,200 guitars out there that I actually dream about, that I'd love to own. I'm not going to drop $2,000 on this oddball Gibson. Although I got to say, like, if I was going to be a Gibson collector, I would probably collect the oddballs. I would be collecting this and like the weird 80s, variations of different things. Like, what was it? The L6? Is that what I'm thinking of?
The L6S is like the big body.
Yeah, the big body solid body thing.
It's what one of the Roni shapes was based on.
Yeah. But I'd be collecting all that weird stuff. What was the one with the triangle headstock? The other bolt-on from that era?
Is it the Sonics?
The Sonics.
Marauder?
Yeah, I'd probably have.
Or the Marauder?
Yeah, I'd have a Sonics or a Marauder for sure. Like it worked for them a couple times. Like Flying V is crazy. Explorer is wild.
Those are all like 50s designs.
The Modern. They should have made the Modern. I actually really like the Modern. Every now and then they come out with the modern variation, or someone makes a copy of it or whatever. But then you get into stuff like this wild, kooky stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Gibson, what were you thinking? There's the clickbait right
How do you feel about how do you feel about the RD body shape?
It's all right. It's not my favorite, but it's all right. I think that works as a guitar more than the Corvus or a bunch of other shapes that they've done. But yeah, there's like, name it. What are there any other normal Gibson shapes? Like the SG is wild for that being like their second electric guitar.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, let's make something that looks like the devil. Okay. Your first electric guitar looked like a parlor acoustic.
Right, right.
Now you're making a guitar that looks like Satan.
Yeah, and you're saying
it's like, what is it, 1952 or whatever? Like
1960.
It was the 60s.
One, I think.
Ryan, you run a guitar podcast and you have for a decade, and you don't know when the SG came out? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't memorize stuff like that. But Steve does, and he knows what pickups.
The Les Paul, I think the first Les Pauls were made in 52.
Right.
Say.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like the prototype-y.
Right.
Maybe 54? Was 54 the first production? Man, I think 54 was the first production.
And those first Les Pauls
were dumb. I've always heard they're bad. I've never played one.
Stupid trapeze bridge with no intonation. And it came out like pretty much the same time as the Telecaster. They had 3 adjustable saddles where you could adjust not just the intonation, but the height.
Well, and even that, like the Strat came out in 54.
Right.
So maybe that's what I'm thinking. Oh man, my brain's all up.
This heat is killing us, man. It's not just the heat, it's the humidity. It's sticky.
I have this running theory that, people don't want to talk about.
People don't want to talk about it.
The Strat was designed between 52 and 54.
When did the Tele come out?
And put into production.
The Tele came out in like 1938.
Yeah, since 1954. Let's see, the Telecaster. The Telecaster's screwy, but they're saying
when did the Esquire come out?
Right. So Wikipedia is saying 1950.
Okay.
Also 1950 for the Esquire. So I think that 1950 may also be included.
Or the Broadcaster?
Like the Broadcaster, No-Caster.
Right.
So the Broadcaster was 1950.
Okay.
That's where I was saying, like, I'm not actually sure when the Telecaster
and then when did the first Les Paul come out? Because we're talking about it. We're trashing on
52.
Gibson here.
I think the first Telecaster was 52. What's the Les Paul?
Yeah. It's such a stupid design. Like, I can't believe they just released it and we're like, oh, here's a guitar.
1952.
1950. So same year as the Telecaster.
I was right at the beginning, yeah.
Same year as the Telecaster. Fender comes out with the guitar with a fully adjustable, 3 saddles. But compared to the Les Paul, a fully adjustable bridge.
Right.
The Les Paul has a trapeze with a non-intonatable bridge. It's just a thing that the string wraps around. And wasn't it like super close to the body?
I don't know. I've never played one. I
think that was part of the issue, is that like it was resting on the body, so the strings were like right there. Every time I look at close-up pictures of that system, I'm just like, what? They built the rest of the guitar and spent no time on the bridge whatsoever. Like if they hadn't come up with the Tune-o-matic, that design, Gibson would have been dead as an electric guitar company.
Do you count like all of the Gibson like semi-hollow, like the 335s and all that in this conversation?
No, I mentioned earlier that those are just jazz boxes. They're converted like jazz box designs.
Right.
Like they're traditional. They're traditional.
Sure.
Those are traditional shapes that those shapes and ideas existed before Gibson started making electric guitars, because they were making jazz boxes before that. So they were part of the traditional design of that sort of thing. A semi-hollow, full hollow sort of look. Like they already had that look figured out. So they brought that over from earlier. Do we have that all straightened out? So anyways, this thing...
I don't know. I stopped listening 2 minutes ago.
2K. If I was shopping for Corvus, I would consider this one. I know someone out there is going to be like, oh, but it's mangled. No, I think this is I think this is an upgrade. I legitimately think this is an upgrade. I think this is what the Corvus should have been. But it also should have been a little, it should have been a different shape.
Right.
There's no reason. Like, imagine, like, you make the prototype and be like, people don't like the headless thing. Like, put a head on it. Well, we designed the whole back end for these other tuners. Should we change that? Nah. It's ugly and no one will like it. Leave it.
I mean,
like,
it's a
and then they made a production guitar out of it.
Like, here's the thing is because of the way the Corvus is balanced, if they would have gone back and been like, you know what, we need to redesign this. There's no horns on this guitar. So I think that like that gap in the back gives balance to the hornless look. Are you about to tell me that those are horns?
No.
Okay. Yeah. See, like I'm saying, if that little X out isn't there, then the guitar is very off balance.
I'm saying they shouldn't have continued the design after the prototype. They should have been like, oh, well, we were trying to do like a BC Ritchie sort of thing or like a headless sort of thing. Maybe we should just go back to the drawing board since we're going to put a headstock on this and not make this, but make something else that scratches that itch.
Like
imagine if Gibson had made a more like BC Rich style thing, like lean into the points, lean into, they're good. They do wild shapes. Gibson, you do wild shapes. I'm talking to people who don't even work there anymore. Why didn't you try to do a BC Rich Con Gibson? You know, like this is so weird.
Imagine if Gibson had made the I
bet this would look better reversed, upside down. Can I?
No, because it's always going to align.
Isn't there a way I can lock the screen? Come on. It's not letting me do it. Okay, wait. There's the screen lock. There we go.
Lock.
Okay, let's see if
that will work.
I'm doing this for Steve and my benefit. I can do it all in post. Like, I think that looks better with the fin hanging down the back. And imagine if there was a little bit of a top horn, or like if that curved in a little bit, curved towards the neck
it's like
a little bit.
Fat V. It's like a fat V.
It's like a weird fat V with a bunch of like armrest area.
It would be the Gibson Bumble V.
The Bumble V. I like that. It's got that big old abdomen.
Yeah. There we go. I
like that. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's what I want to see on the Corvus. All right, we've been talking about this for 17 minutes. Let's move on.
I don't know. We spent like 5 minutes talking about your air conditioner.
That's true.
Speaking of moving on, I don't know. I got no transition. I'm not going to do it. But if you want to help support the show, head on over to patreon.com, where for as little as $1 a month, you can support the production of this program, pay for us to keep the air conditioner on while we record.
And pay
I don't
for
know
burritos.
if this is going to work. I can tell you, like, the noise gating built into the Rode, the way it's triggering is driving me freaking crazy.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. The Rodecaster spits out a bunch of different tracks. I usually just rely on the processed track that it does, that has its own noise gate built in. I can take those out, and I can just do my own processing on the track, and I can do a more gentle noise gate, or just leave the air conditioner noise in.
Yeah, maybe.
Like just imagine we're on the Enterprise, and that's just like, warp core noise.
I kind of wish there was no gate on and I could just hear the air conditioner through the headphones all the time. But anyway, thanks to everyone who supported the show at the $1 level coming in. And I got a couple announcements after this related to this. But first of all, at the $1 level, but he actually paid for a whole year. When you pay for a whole year, you get 1 month for free. Lucky Luke from South Australia, that's his full name. I have no idea how that's going to fit on the scroll. And then at the $5 level, Owen Eads. At the $10 level, Bob Pickwode and Dave Savage. So two at the $10 level. So the other thing that we learned this week is going to be changing soon with Patreon. Is if you are using an Apple device and to sign up for Patreon. So this doesn't affect anyone.
So if you're using the app.
So this doesn't affect anyone who is already subscribed to us through Patreon, who's already pledging to us through Patreon. But new pledgers, if you subscribe through the app, Apple is going to charge you more. So our $10 level for Apple users who decide I want to join the $10 level on the app, they're going to have to pay $13 a month.
Jeez.
Because Apple wants their
They
cut.
want their piece.
They want their cut. So my understanding is
Don't you have enough money, Apple?
my understanding is if you go to the link, patreon.com/60cyclehumcast, and subscribe on on a desktop computer or through your browser on your phone, that you don't have to pay that. It's only if you go through the app. It's
Gotcha.
Because then it's considered an app purchase.
Right.
I think it sucks, but
whatever. Yeah, go do whatever Steve just said instead. You know,
that's all. But thanks
if you do it on desktop, it's fine, right?
That's my understanding.
Do it on desktop. That's what I've been saying for years. Do it on desktop. It's a euphemism for having sex on.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I'm never touching your office desk ever again. Or apparently this thing.
Why do you think I got such a sturdy desk from Home Depot, Steve?
Sturdy.
No, this is a work desk. This is made for doing like a garage work on.
And apparently sex.
And apparently sex.
Jesus. This episode's brought to you all.
It's always at their worst time.
Chase Bliss.
So smooth. I got a bunch of Chase Bliss pedals here in front of me. We got the mood. We got the habit.
The mood.
Got
Speaking of doing sex in your
the
garage,
other
the
mood. We got
we got the onward.
onward. I've got a bunch of Chase Bliss pedals. Do you? Are you jealous? If you don't have a bunch of Chase Bliss pedals like me, maybe you should follow the link in the description and go buy a bunch. Try to beat me. Try to have more than me.
These are only the ones here.
I have more here. I have more here.
Looper.
I've got the slider one in a drawer. I've got the Gravitas.
The slider one.
I've got the Dark World, which lives on my board because I love that thing. I've got the Tonal Recall. I've got the Thermae. I've got a lot of Chase Bliss pedals, guys. Try to beat me. Try to beat my best score. Is all I'm saying.
Basically, you have to get all of those and plus the Spectre, I think, to beat your score.
Maybe. There are ones that I don't have, and I did sell the Brothers.
Do you sell the Bliss Factory?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I sold the Brothers in a bad time in my life, where it's like I just got to move stuff. Now I'm like, I'm going to keep every Chase Bliss pedal forever, and then that's how I'm going to pay for my kids' college.
I got 2 words for you, Ryan.
I want to hear them. Well, give me the second one first.
Ass.
Okay.
Dumb.
Yeah, ass dumb.
Yeah.
So anyways, here's thanks to Chase Bliss Audio. We're still in a sponsorship. It's still happening. Click the links to give them thanks for watching our videos every single week of your life for the past decade or so. It's coming up on 11 years, Steve. We're going to celebrate the big 1-1. What are we going to do when we celebrate our 60th year?
No, but this ad was sent by. Wait, you got something else to say?
Nope. I was going to say the same thing. Vic on
this
bass.
Ad was sent by Vic on bass. This is a Fender Telecaster parts caster in Langley Township, British Columbia. Fender parts caster with Bigsby, not a professional paint job / finish. Mexico made neck and alder body bottom line. Bridge pickup does not work or is not wired properly. Plays fine, but most of the value is in the parts. Fender neck, Fender Bigsby is $350 new alone. They're asking $400 Canadian dollars.
Canadian dollars?
This is a steal.
I agree.
I think they are correct that the Fender branded Bigsby and that like Telecaster plate are probably like the entire $400 Canadian.
I like this guitar. I'm just going to say it. I'm not a big Tele guy, but I like this Tele. Weird carve job on it.
Yeah, the carve job makes the angles look really off.
I kind of like it. I don't think this should ever be production. I don't think Fender should ever do this.
This guitar, the back, I mean, I know.
It's like a really weird German carve.
And
it's a full body
German carve.
So here's the thing
is I'm looking at the back. And from the back, all of the dimensions look right, look correct, which is why this thing going on the front of the body, it's got to be like a bit of an optical illusion, or maybe because of the way this arm carve is set on the upper back. Because to me, this guitar looks like it skipped leg day. Like the upper horns look normal,
right?
And then it comes down to the waist, and you're like, okay, the waist like maybe looks a little thinner, and you've got that carve started. And then when it comes back out for the butt of the guitar, it doesn't look like it's got enough butt.
I think it's an optical illusion here.
This guitar does not do squats.
Steve says he don't want none.
Yeah, my Anaconda don't want none.
Yeah. Unless you got Telecaster buns, hun?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I see what you're saying. I think it's just an optical illusion because he has thinned out those areas of the guitar in the thickness of the guitar that the depth is pushed back a little bit. It's playing with your eye. I've never seen a carve style quite like this. It's like a combination of a German carve and a Firebird. Or Thunderbird cut.
It's really cool.
I think it's really cool. I like these extra curves going outwards from the bridge and the trim, cutting through the pick guard. I think there's kind of a fun pick guard shape going on there too.
This kind of reminds me of like when Gibson does the like Corvette guitar, and stuff like that. Fender did one called like the Super Speed. Do you remember the Super Speed Stratocaster?
Yeah.
I think Philip Carter sent me a picture of one of those recently.
And then like it looks like this carve is pretty dramatic. Like it might even be like half an inch or something like that. And that would just bring the controls down away from the wiggle stick abuse a little bit, give you more knuckle room with that big speed. And also like the Telecaster neck pickup in the bridge is cool.
Yeah.
I think is it a Telecaster bridge pickup or is that no, it has to be. It's not just a lipstick. They put a Telecaster neck pickup in the bridge. I don't know how, it must not be fastened in there because there's not the side screws for it.
It's not, it's screwed directly in, which that could,
that works.
That could be part of the problem when they're saying the bridge pickup isn't wired correctly or doesn't work.
I think someone just didn't finish it.
There could just be something weird going on there. It's a neat aesthetic, but like,
I wonder what it sounds like. What I would do if I did that
the problem is you can't raise and lower it.
But, once you get it dialed in, it's going to be fine. It's the bridge pickup. Like you don't need to be too fidgety with it.
Thin.
It's a Telecaster,
it's gonna
Steve.
Sound anemic.
It's a Telecaster, Steve.
Telecasters don't sound anemic.
What I would have, they're the most versatile guitar in the world.
Exactly.
They sound like humbuckers. They sound like singles. They sound like P90s. They sound like everything, right?
Yeah.
They sound like EMGs.
This one's got a wiggle stick, so it'll sound like a Stratocaster.
It'll sound like a Floyd Rose. It'll sound like it sound like Eddie Van Halen with that wiggle stick on there. What I would have done to complete the joke of the neck pickup in the bridge is I would have put a bridge pickup in the neck.
That's pretty dumb.
It's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb. That's true. What did they want for this? Like 400?
400 Canadian.
I'd give 400 Canadians for this.
400 Canadians.
Yeah, I'd have a tough time like rounding them up because they're fighters. They kick. Yeah, I'd trade in 400 Canadians for these. For this guitar,
which is the equivalent of 291 Americans.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think that's killer. I think a Canadian should go buy this if they haven't already. It was listed 4 weeks ago.
It's gone. It's sold.
It's sold. I think a Canadian did do it.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
If
service,
you're the
Canadians.
Canadian who bought this, let us know.
Right. Unless you're not Canadian.
Maybe wherever this
then we're
is
excluding you.
Wherever this is in British Columbia is close enough to the border that someone from Washington went and got it.
This one's for the Canadians. I don't want to hear from anyone else.
This one here's for all the fellas.
All right. So what next, Steve?
What? Oh, this ad is for the. Was that all
That's all I got to say about it. I'm done.
What's next is what's new, dude. You got?
I just got back from vacation.
We got mail.
We do have mail.
Okay.
Well, let's do one of them.
Which one do you want to do?
Let's do this one.
Bag.
Yeah, we'll do this bag.
Be careful.
I don't want to show.
Oh no! Just because there's things inside of it that can be cut. Don't cut the things.
Oh, okay. I won't cut the things. There we go.
This is a shirt. We can I say who it's from?
Yeah, say who it's from.
This is from.
I'm also hyper focused on not cutting into it now.
I guess he talks about her on his show.
Let's not say her name.
Huh?
Does he say her name?
He does.
Oh, okay. Good.
So this is a package from Shauna McKnight, who is the wife of Phil McKnight.
And she is wonderful, by the way. I love Shauna.
After Gear Fest last year, I think it was last year. Maybe it was it must have been last year. I told Phil, I said, hey, I've got a shirt if you wear 2X, because he's a big dude. He's a tall dude, big dude.
We got patches.
Oh, rad.
Patches?
So we got a bunch of...
I could use some stinking patches.
We got some stuff from Know Your Gear. I sent Phil a shirt a year ago, and we're finally getting a shirt back.
Got stickers?
Woo!
You want to send those out to Patreons?
Oh, I'll put one of them on my wall for sure.
Oh, we got some picks here. She just sent us a whole merch pack. I'm never going to need picks ever again.
These are nice picks.
They are. And we got some t-shirts here. We've got, what is this one going to be? The XL. And we have got the XL. Both XLs.
Both XLs.
There we go, guys. Know Your Gear.
Know Your Gear podcast.
You're going to see us wearing these very soon on the show. Maybe even
very exciting.
Maybe even next episode. Yeah, I'm not going to take my shirt off right now because it's hot. I'm stinky, Steve. You don't want that.
But this is really exciting. So thanks, Phil and Shauna,
thank you
for getting this out to us. These patches. Okay, we're gonna have to talk about where you guys got these patches from because we need. I want to do another patch run, dude.
We should do another patch run. Patches are cool.
So.
And the patches are cool because it's like you can turn any hat into
that's what I did.
Branded hat. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you, McKnight.
Let me make a note. Mail. No KYG.
Thank you, Shauna.
Yeah.
Because we know Phil didn't do it.
we do know that, actually. We do know that for a fact. So thank you, Shauna. And we'll send a link. Phil has this little channel on YouTube called...
Yeah, he could use the subscribers.
So, he could use the subs.
I just want to say, like meeting Shauna for the first time, what was like 2-3 years ago or whatever at Sweetwater.
It's like, are you sure it wasn't last year?
It wasn't. I met her the year before that.
Oh, okay. I think I only met her last year.
She's delightful. And when you meet her, you realize how his channel functions because she's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Like I've known Phil for years, forever. And it's always like, man, how does he pull off so much stuff? It's because Shauna's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phil's amazing. He absolutely carries a lot of weight with his channel, but Shauna absolutely makes a lot of stuff possible over there. I know we've got crossover viewers. We absolutely do. So yeah, everyone be thankful to Shauna that she sent us some stuff. So thank you, Shauna. We love you. She's probably embarrassed now. Sorry, Shauna. Steve gave me permission to say your name, so now I'm not going to stop.
Phil says it on the show all the time.
Okay. So I just got back from vacation.
Yeah.
I went up to the mountains, up to the Eastern Sierras. My family has had access to a cabin up there since before my parents were born.
Wow.
So it's definitely like a family cabin, even though the person who owns it now is not in the family. He's a family friend. So we've been going up there for generations. It felt amazing to get away from everything for a while.
You were gone a week?
I was gone a full week.
A full week.
And, went around hiking, showing my kids the area, taking swims in alpine lakes and creeks and stuff like that. Yeah. Like going down and getting ice cream cones in the town, getting the hot springs and stuff like that. Making food in the cabin. Like, it was a great time. I'm so happy I got like a proper family vacation this year. Like we do little trips here and there, but we don't often get to do like the full proper thing. And it's always just restful going up there. So that's my what's new, Steve. Do you have any what's new in your personal life?
I don't have a what's new.
Okay.
I do not.
Maybe next week.
I do not. Yeah, if I don't have one this week, I'm not going to have one next week.
Do we want to try to do this topic? Or do we want to do sponsors right now?
There's no other sponsor.
Okay, that's right.
Next week. Do we want to do this topic? That is a great... I'm writing it down. I don't think the last ad will carry us to the finish. So I think that means
We have to do it.
We have to do this.
A lot of people asked us to talk about this, and Steve and I are both apprehensive about it.
I just don't really know what to say about it.
This is boring to me.
To you, it's boring. To me, like there probably is an interesting angle. I just don't know what it is.
So everyone wants us to talk about Corey Feldman, even though this is going to come out, what, 3 weeks after what it was a thing?
Ryan, what's your favorite Corey Feldman movie?
It's probably Lost Boys. I don't know.
Okay, let's talk.
Name another Corey Feldman movie.
Let's talk about that. Goonies? Was he in Goonies?
I'm actually not a Goonies kid. Like, it's
not a Goonies.
He wasn't fine. But
Goonies.
I would. If you asked me tonight, you want to watch Lost Boys? I'd be like, yeah, okay. If you asked me if I wanted to watch Goonies, I'd be like, let's wait till the kids want to watch it.
He was also in.
I know he was in like everything for like 3 years.
He was in Gremlins.
Right.
Which I
That's true. I remember that. Both the Coreys were in that.
Well, both of them were in it?
I think so. That was one of the ones where they were like teamed up, right?
I don't think I realized the Friday the 13th franchise started in 1980.
Yeah.
He was in, I think, the third Friday the 13th.
We don't really need to go over.
He was with the Coreys and the Lost Boys.
Right. Oh, so maybe,
but I don't think in Gremlins.
He didn't have like a team in Gremlins.
He was just in Gremlins. Also, he was did a lot of drugs and hung out with Michael Jackson.
Right. So he's had a musical career for, I want to say 10, 15 years or something like that.
He was the voice of Donatello.
That tracks.
In like the Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah.
The first one.
And he was actually at NAMM
last year
or
2024.
Steve and I saw him in person because Blvd hired him to play the creators night, creators like party at NAMM. And so we saw him on stage, like, like 20 feet away from us or something like that. He played a song with Blvd and then he took off. And then there's been this video of him playing opening for Limp Bizkit where he like does this song and does a shred at the end of it.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. Here's my thing about it. It's just not new. Like, I'm not talking about him trying to shred isn't new. I'm saying everyone's reactions are not new. It's just the same old regurgitated comments that we've seen on the internet from Guitar Bros and Weird Uncles.
So I think
and Guitar Grandpas for decades now, ever since the Harmony Central days in the 90s, of just people making the same jokes about blah, 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 Yoko Ono, blah, 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 Meg White, blah, 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 Lil Wayne, blah, 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 Nick Jonas. Just like, it's the same recycled humor over and over and over again about someone playing a solo that's not like a amazing performance. Like,
has there been a lot of things where you feel like where people are making fun of them? I feel like in the case of Lil Wayne and in Corey Feldman, I'm seeing more like bafflement.
I don't know. I've seen comments on it, and the post that I'm saying is just like, okay, like we don't actually have it. We don't, as a community, as a culture, as an online guitar culture, we don't really have anything new here. It's just another a thing happened. It's exhausting. Can't we have something that's actually interesting, please? Like, it's just another reason for people to say dumb things. Like, there's something in every hobby for everyone. I'm slowly like churning this concept around in my head. There's something in every hobby for everyone. You look at guitar and on the surface, it's like, oh, that is the arts. People are making music.
Sure.
Most of us aren't. Most of us are treating this as a technical hobby where we're measuring exact screw dimensions and things like that. And some people are treating it like a sport where they are watching people play solos and like, well, he went to the 9th when he should have gone to the 7th. And like, like, oh, that tapping, it wasn't in time perfectly. You could hear he wasn't right on the beat when he was
Eddie did it better.
All the armchair quarterbacking that goes on.
Sure.
Like, there's all sorts of different facets of ways that people enjoy guitar as a hobby. And I just don't think any parts of the way I enjoy guitar as a hobby are lining up with this cultural moment.
Do you think there's any, I don't want to say any, I think there's some. I don't think you would say there's no validity to it. But in some ways, I need to say, okay, let me say the thing first. Do you think that there is any like purpose to, so he's opening for Limp Bizkit. What's the benefit? What's the usefulness of people saying like, well, he's not that good. His band I think is actually pretty good from what I've seen, but like he's not good. The songs maybe aren't good. So like, why didn't Limp Bizkit give the opening act to like a more deserving artist? But then immediately, as soon as I say that, I'm like, that guitar should have gone to a kid. Like that's the feeling, too. No,
like Limp Bizkit, putting him on the bill with him is very Lollapalooza. Like it's very like sideshow 90s adjacent, right? Like that works. That makes perfect sense. Like, what do you want? Buckethead? Like,
sure.
Like that's sure. Like guitarists should not be the ones planning out.
I watch
festivals and tours and stuff like that because we'll just pick some dumb shredder that people don't actually want to watch.
Yeah.
So I'm not calling Buckethead a dumb shredder. He's actually probably pretty smart. But like I'm criticizing guitarists as a music fandom.
There's and to that point, I mean, our old friend of the show, Sam Miller, posted recently about how his first exposure to Limp Bizkit was before they got big, when they felt more like Primus.
When they were Stiff Biscuit.
When they were stiff. But like he was saying, like, and I've never heard the songs, but he said like they felt more like Primus.
Sure.
Yeah, they were kind of like still kind of going into this new metal thing, but it was definitely a joke.
Right.
And it definitely felt like they were trying to be funny. And so when you put Limp Bizkit in that context, and you could even, we talked about this in the new metal episode, so I don't want to rehash the whole thing.
Don't go listen to the new metal episode.
Dude, the new metal episode was great. But the idea that like maybe Limp Bizkit was a joke all along, and like people in their target audience didn't realize it was a joke. But now that they're on this tour, like 25 years later, I think they're fully embracing the humor of who they are. And I think having Corey Feldman as an opening act is part of that.
Sure. And the Limp Bizkit is very much like in the same geographical musical region as the Aquabats.
Right.
It's there's theatrics, there's humor, but then it's music. It's real music. Like they are making music that can be played on the radio and enjoyed by a wide variety of people. But there is this novelty element that travels throughout.
I think the wildest thing with the Corey Feldman whole guitar solo is that the claims that he wasn't actually playing guitar, that it was like a dub, that it was like a backing track, because people were...
If it's a dub, then it's like, why did they... if it's a dub, then it's still a joke.
Well, even with that, like there were people who were like, "Oh, the note didn't bend nearly as far as he smashed that whammy bar." Like that was why they said it was.
But this is
not real.
This is more of the armchair quarterback thing that I'm talking about. Is people sitting there like, oh, we got to figure out if this is real or fake. Why? What?
You don't.
What? No, you don't.
Just be entertained.
Who cares?
Or change the channel.
What do you gain if you figure out that it was fake? What do you gain? Like, are you going to be like, oh, he's faking it. He's faking it. He's faking what? Like a really weird solo.
Yeah.
And I told Steve when we were, like doing our pre-show burrito smackdown, like if he's doing it doing it as a recording and doing it on purpose, then it's performance comedy. It's I think you said it's like Andy Kaufman-esque.
Yeah, yeah.
And if he's doing it sincerely, like he's actually playing it, then it's how is it any different than the solos I used to play in your favorite band? Like I don't
know, man.
I used to just like we had a song that had like 4 solos in it as a joke.
Oh yeah.
And
wait, as a joke?
It was a joke.
I don't think it was a joke.
No, I thought it was hilarious that we did 4 solos. And look,
we tried to cut you down to 3 and you were real mad about it.
Because I thought it was a good joke.
Big mad.
I was never proud of those solos as a musical achievement. It was always like, I'm just going to like wank pentatonic as far as I can and then just wander into like, nonsense territory.
I hear you, but like Corey's not even wanking pentatonic.
But I'm saying I would get outside of it. Like I would just act like I was shredding.
Right. But I was
playing fast, but not actually playing anything, you know, like, right. And that's what he's doing. He's playing fast, but not playing anything.
Yes, that's true. But what I'm saying is at no point is he ever playing anything.
But also like, he was the voice of Donatello.
He's the voice of Donatello.
He's probably made all the money he's ever going to need.
I hope so.
I hope he's set. I hope
he spent it all on Michael Jackson paraphernalia.
I hope he is.
He has like a mirror suit. He's
like here's what I hope. I hope that he's financially independent.
Sure.
And I hope that all this music stuff that he's been doing for the past decade or so, is him having a good time.
Yeah. And
that's the sort of thing you do on stage if you've got a personality like me and you're just having a good time.
Right.
And it's like
to that point,
like who cares?
And to that point, that is where I think a lot of the breakdown or like a lot of the criticism does break down around the idea that like, oh, you know, should have given it to a kid. Like, I'm pretty sure. I think all of his music is basically self-produced, or at least it's
Sure.
Excuse me. It's a passion project.
Right.
It's not. You know, it's not like he's on a label, as far as I'm aware.
Who knows? He might be. Like, it's not hard to get on labels if you got celebrity.
Right. But my point is like
power behind you.
My point being like he's not taking your spot.
No.
If you were good enough for a spot, you'd have a spot. They would make a spot for you.
Yeah. Fred Durst chose him the same reason Blvd chose him.
Yeah.
Because it's a spectacle. Because it's silly. Because it's fun, because he's a known quantity, and people are like, really? Corey Feldman? Okay.
Yeah.
Like and also, are you going to a Limp Bizkit show expecting to be wowed by some young prodigy that gets out and just plays like classical metal for 45 minutes? Double-handed on a guitar? Like,
I will say to your point, you know, at that NAMM Creator Fest, or not Creator Fest, but Creator Party. You know, like you said, Dovey put it together. He lined up a lot of musicians, and we're talking about like some of you know the biggest names in. There was also like a violin girl, but some of the biggest names in like the guitar space. You know, people like Marty Schwartz.
Yeah.
People like.
But here's the thing.
Hold on.
Okay.
People like KDH. People like, I can't say that with a straight face, sorry. But like,
do it with a gay face.
No. People, I don't remember who else, like my point is that there was a ton of performers that really do make up some of the best performers who were there, right?
As in the YouTube space.
In the YouTube space. But everybody paid attention to what Corey Feldman was doing. You know, when some of the other people who were like legitimately good in their own right went up to play their stuff, I was like, I'm going to go to the bar and get another drink, or I'm going to go do the photo booth, or I'm going to go out.
I just wanted to talk to my friends. Like, there's so many people there that I rarely get to see.
But I'm saying, like when Corey Feldman was performing, all of your friends were like, "Shut the hell up, Ryan! I'm watching Corey Feldman."
Of course, yeah.
So,
and then like all those other people that played, like Corey was hired to be there.
Yeah.
He was hired to play for 20 minutes and then he took off. Everyone else was Blvd calling up all our friends like, "Hey, you get up here and play something."
Everyone but you.
Damn, Steve.
Just saying.
Was that supposed to sting?
No, did it?
No.
I hope not.
Hey, Adobe called me up.
I mean, he didn't
play with him at Sweetwater.
He didn't call me up either.
2 years ago, and it like got him a ton of views for some reason. And it didn't get us any subscribers because most of Dovey Dawes' audience is like middle-aged women.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't play guitar. They just want to look at a stud.
There's just a bunch of comments that said, "Oh, that guy you brought up on guitar might have been a cutie if he'd shaved that beard. Spend some time in the gym."
W Doss's comment section is way different than ours. It's super, super different.
All right, you want to hit this? You want to hit this?
Hi, Dobie. If you're watching, you know I love you. I love your audience too. This last ad.
Yeah, sent by Zach Ferry.
Look at this.
Look at this bass.
Look at this bass, Steve.
Where does this ad start?
Yeah, I tried to get it into the right order. Yeah, I think it's in the right order.
No, it's in the reverse order.
Is it?
Straight from the land of "You'll never see anything like this again" comes a crazy creation from the whack jobs at the TGF Chop Shop. First off, this is a 2018 Mustang PJ bass that got the J chopped off as we pulled out the jazz pickup out and covered the space with the sweet metal Fender badge. This is now a Mustang P bass with a volume and tone. Next, to make it funky, we added a custom eyeball pickguard and amazing eyeball knobs. That's why it's "Look at this bass." Okay. Of course.
You just got it?
Yeah. Of course, that wasn't enough for us, so we added 124 plastic bubble eyeballs in various sizes all over the place. And seriously, they are all over the place. For the cherry on top, when you flip the base over, there is an awesome eyeball "I see you" decal.
Okay.
Just to let them fools know that you see them. This is one of our most insane, over-the-top customizations we've ever done. These builds are not for everybody, but they are for those who walk to the beat of their own drum. They are perfect. Why isn't it these builds are not for everybody, but they are for those who see the world a little differently?
There you go.
They're perfect. Price to move fast at a crazy $600. This is a one and only. There will never be another. Bunch of specs that I don't.
Thank goodness.
It's a 30. It's a 30-inch scale. Y'all can just look at the pictures. This is a 2018 Mexican P bass, Mustang bass. I see. Oh, okay, yeah, Mustang bass, 30-inch.
The giant Fender logo is so funny to me. Like, why just leave the pickup there? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Just leave the pickup in. Why did you take the pickup out? I would like to see that Fender badge turned into a pickup ring. And just mount the pickup in the middle of it.
Like,
you know?
Then it would look like a Rickenbacker.
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do you think about these eyeball knobs?
You want to know what I think about them?
I do.
I don't know. The knobs are fun. Like, none of this stuff matches, but there's enough of it that it stops mattering. You know, like the knobs don't match the pick guard. The wiggle eyes don't match the other eyes. And because there's three things that don't match, it's just like, oh, okay, well, it's just like,
it's a bit of a pastiche.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. It's like folk art or whatever.
Modge Podge?
I mean, here's the thing. I look at this right now, I'm like, that's stupid. But if I saw someone playing this on stage, I'd be like, that person's probably going to be my friend. Like, we're probably going to get along.
The sticker on the back is in the correct orientation. You can't read it, but if you're like, and then you flip it up and you're just doing this thing back here.
I just wish that sticker wasn't so ugly.
That's fair.
Like, eyeballs are one of the funnest things to draw, and that's like the worst eyeball sticker I've ever seen. That's the worst eyeball.
This is $600. Do you think this is a fair price?
How much is this? It's a Mexican.
Yeah. It's
how much do these go for?
I think they're $649.
I wouldn't pay retail for this.
Sorry, these are $849
new.
$849 new.
But this is very used, and they want $6 something for it.
Yes.
I don't think any of this is an upgrade.
Oh, they're $799 currently on Fender site. So
this is all personalization. They actually took away functionality by removing the other pickup. Man, I have trouble getting excited for this over 4. Like, you can some of this, a lot of this is reversible.
Sure.
You can take all the stuck-on eyeballs off. You can swap out the pick guard. You can get new knobs. I mean, you're $40 into this project at that point. You can throw you can leave the pickup out. You can just treat it as a P bass.
Mm-hmm.
You can leave the Fender badge there if you want to, or leave it exposed, or find something else to cover it up. But the point is that you can clean this up and get it looking a bit more normal for about $40, so $440, and then like you are missing some functionality. I feel good about that. What do you think? I'd say like if you are excited about this, then use it as inspiration bait,
right,
and do your own project. Like this is so personalized that it's hard for me to imagine someone else getting excited about it.
Yeah. Depending on how those are glued on there, I think the Fender logo is screwed in.
Yeah, there's gonna be screw holes. But like I said, it'd be fun if it was a pickup ring.
I'm kind of thinking 400.
Yeah, and I think it's got to be under.
And I'm hoping that with like a putty knife, I can get all of the googly eyes off. I might leave the might leave the headstock ones on.
The googly eyes will come off with light prying and a little bit of goog on.
I want like one big googly eye on the headstock. I don't want 5 of them.
I don't hate googly eyes, by the way. But I don't want them in my playing surface area, like the way that it's on much of the guitar.
Yeah, I think 400. I don't know if these are for used. Maybe they're cheaper used, and I'm just, but without looking it up.
Sure.
400.
Yeah, as like a project.
Yep. Ryan.
Yes, Steve. Who won? Is that what we're going to figure out?
Who won?
We did the Corvus. We did the Carved Tele. We did the look at this.
The look at this bass.
I'm going to go with the Carved Tele.
I was also going to go with the Carved Tele.
It's unanimous.
Carved Tele.
Congratulations,
spin the wheel.
Vic on bass. You done it. You gone and done it.
You done did it. All right. This song was sent by Mav.
Thank you, Mav.
It says, hi, Stephen Ryan. I've been a fan of your channel for a while now. I was the top financial contributor when Ryan tried to use Super Chats once, a whopping $10. Thanks again for giving that guitar away. That kid seems stoked. So it must have been your give a guitar to a kid video, the very one where you sat in a car guitar center and stalked a child.
That was a bad vibe. I didn't like that.
I'm glad that in hindsight, like,
I'm glad we did it because then they got the idea out of my head.
Yeah.
Because
I'm glad you thought it was gross, because I think the more I've come to learn about kindness content, the more most of it is gross.
No, sitting there and trying to do that, I should do commentary on that video as on like an old video. Like, let me talk about an old video. I should do like a little Instagram or TikTok piece or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I did this video where it's like, because everyone had been bugging me about the Epiphone SL, like, why didn't you give it to a kid? I was like, well, here's a cheap guitar I don't want anymore. I'm going to go try to give it to a kid. So I sat in a Guitar Center parking lot and waited for a kid to go in or out so I could drive up to them and give them a guitar. And I'm sitting there the whole time like, this feels awful.
Yeah.
And I'm telling that to the camera, like, this, I don't like this at all. I feel so creepy. I'm sitting here waiting for a child. This is not comfortable behavior.
I mean, you gave it to like a teenager.
I know, but it was still, like, they were probably like 16, 17 or something like that. I was like, I never want to do it ever again. It sucked. I'm not going to do that. And the fact that there's people out there who are doing, the kindness content videos as their whole thing.
Yeah.
It's gross. Those there's something wrong with them. Like filming yourself. Like if you're a Christian, like, I forget the exact quote, but it's like, you're supposed to do your good deeds in private. You're supposed to do them sort of secretively.
Yeah.
Or else you get this weird sickness, this performative, gross sickness. Like, ew. I give guitars to kids all the time. I don't film it because I don't like the way it feels.
Yep.
So,
but that kid did seem stoked. Map says, I'm just starting to get my music out there and was hoping you might consider taking a listen. It is pop, but guitar and theremin are prominent in this track. Again, love your stuff. Thank you for what you do. The song is called Loom, featuring Mackenzie Elliott from his upcoming EP called Ordinary Dreams. Also used the Chase Bliss Thermae.
Oh, fun. That's a good
a lot
one.
of ambient effects.
I'm keeping that one.
And
the most.
This was posted as the artist Maven Sun.
Entwined in a loom, here comes the glorious light in you. How do I get outside to see you? Brought in gracious warm and solitude. I see the sun.
See the house of cards fall for you. Empires turn and fold into soul in the open now. It's so blue, sweet serenity. Who knew? I see the stars.
Sometimes burns. Don't let your heart stop. Then let the kingdom burn. Don't let your heart stop. In this place of fortune, I heard from a funny little bird. We're in tune. What's coming from all of this? And that's a loom. Don't let your heart stop. Let your heart stop.
That was very well done.
I liked it.
What influences were you hearing in that?
There was I don't know a lot of specific artists in this style, but there were a few. I got this you remember when like you go to the music section, particularly I feel like I'd see them more in like Christian bookstores. And they just be like tooth and nail compilations and stuff.
Sure.
So you'd buy it because you'd be like, oh, well, MXPX is on this, so all the other bands must be good, right? So I got one called it was called like Plastic Music.
All right.
And it was all like this like electro pop, like bands like Joy Electric. Not Joy Division.
I knew where you were headed.
Like Joy Electric, maybe a little bit like less so Starflyer. Starflyer wouldn't have been in there because they're not really electric, but like Joy Electric. This reminded me specifically of an artist that I found out through that compilation called The Echoing Green, where again, it's kind of like dance pop, very electronic. So that's what I was hearing. What were there other things you were hearing?
I was hearing like if you took there was a little like do 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 like synthy part in there, like a key lead. If you swapped that out for a heavy distorted guitar with a little bit of a chunky guitar behind it, they've written a 311 song.
Oh yeah.
Like there's even the little parts in there like, oh, that's a very 311 thing to do.
And the vocal, when they had the vocal harmonies were very 311.
Yeah, and I hate to, that seems very low-hanging fruit, but it's there. 311 it's ripe. Might as well pick it and take a big old bite down to the pit.
Yeah.
Like, no, that. And if you had described it to me, like, oh, what I'm about to hear, like describing all the different parts of it and like, you know, female vocal harmonies and this kind of like white reggae sort of thing happening, this club reggae, I would have been like, I don't know if I'm going to like this, but that's that sort of thing where like there's a thin line in between just the dregs that you'd never want to hear and like, oh my gosh, this is the bop.
Yeah.
And they're well over that line. They're in the bop territory.
If you tried to use like the 311 description on it, you know, the part that I think could get missed in that is, you know, the Maven Sun, this artist band that was sent in. I think they did come original with this.
Yeah, I think they came original.
So I was entertained because they came original.
What was the color of their energy though?
I was feeling like a medium blue. Medium to dark blue, like very rich, a rich feel of blue.
I would never say it was a disaster, but I would say it's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
do we have any more 311 references?
I would definitely get down to.
Yeah. I did get down to this song. Yeah.
All right. Finger guns and everything.
I liked that dance. I feel like we need a name for that dance. Like that's a fun 2-person dance, like at a party or whatever. One person's a shooter and the other person's like, oh, don't shoot. And you just go back and forth. Like,
can I say the thing?
Say the thing.
It's a bad cop dance.
Bad cop dance. I like it. All right. Come up with better names for the dance in the comment section. Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Stay grounded.